A powerful storm swept through the city of Turin late last night, causing widespread damage, flooding, and significant disruption of daily life. The storm, which brought heavy rain, strong winds, and intense lightning, in the worst of severe weather events that city experienced in recent years. The storm was turning a little warning, beginning the late evening and intensified it rapidly. The midnight, several parts of the city were under several inches of water. Of the emergency service were stretched to their limits, responding to calls. Reports indicate numerous streets in the residential area have been severely flooded, and a Park of the Valentina, a large public park along the Polo, particularly hard hit. Following recent debris were blocked several major roads, causing traffic chaos during the morning community. Public transportation has severely affected, with the train service deployed suspended in various parts of the city. The city's metro system also experienced partial shutdowns due to the ignition several underground system. Residential in the hardest hit area were evacuated. The precaution with the temporary shelter set up to accommodate those displaced by the flooding. Authorities have urged people to stay indoors and what essential travel, non-cleanup operations are underway. The storm caused significant damage to city infrastructure. Numerous power lines were brought down by the strong winds, leaving widespread power outage affected thousands of homes and businesses. Utility companies have been working around the clock to restore electricity. Some areas are expected to remain without power for several days. Several buildings, including residential block, commercial properties, sustained structural damage from the fallen trees and fallen debris. In some areas, damage have been severe enough to render buildings unsafe, prompted evacuation to extensive repairs. The emergency service, including firefighters, police, and medical teams, have been working tirelessly to manage the situation. Firefighters have been engaged in the rescue operations, helping residents rapid flooded homes, include debris from the streets. The local government can activate the crisis management teams to coordinate response work to ensure the safety and public safety. Authorities have issued warning about the potential for further flooding and landslides, particularly in hilly areas surrounding the city. The Italian Civil Protection Department have been monitoring weather forecast and closely advised to residents to remain vigilant and prepare to additional adverse weather conditions. Despite the extensive damage and destruction, our community has shown remarkable resilience. Volunteers have come forward to assist the relief efforts, providing food, clothing, and shelters and affected to the storm. Local businesses have also pitched offering support to resources to help with the recovery efforts. City officials have promised to communities' response to emphasizing importance working together to overcome the challenges posed by the storm. This has been a difficult time to our city, but the spirit of cooperation and solidarity truly inspiration. As Turin begins an arduous task to recovery, attention is also to the long-term implementation of such extreme weather events. Climate experts have pointed the storm, the magnitude becoming increasingly common due to climate change, underscored to need the better preparedness for the resilient infrastructure. In the coming days, the immediate crisis subsided, but the will through the assistance through drainage system coordinate the force restore normally. For now, the focus remains to ensure the safety and well-being to residents, especially those who have been mostly affected by the devastation storm. A severe storm struck Milan late Sunday night, unleashed heavy rain, powerful winds, and lightning that caused widespread destruction across the city. The tempest, which lasted several hours, resulted in significant damage to infrastructure, transportation networks, and residential areas. Authorities reported that storm, which began around 10 p.m., quickly intensified, overwhelming the city drainage system and leaving the flash flooding in numerous districts. The vital canals, population historic unknown this nightlife, so water level are overwhelmed, inundated streets and grow life flow established. Emergency services were swiftly mobilized to address the crisis. Firefighters are policies working through the night, responded to calls to flooded basements, standing vehicles, and fallen trees. The city's public transportation networks was severely affected, with the several metro lines temporarily suspended and tram service disrupted to debris on the tracks. Local residents described the storm as one of the most intense in recent memory. It was like a scene from the disaster movie, said Marco Rossi, residents of Proto-Venezia neighborhood. The wind was howling, the rain poured torrential. The sky was lit up, conditions lighting. I never seen anything like that. Milan's iconic landmarks were not spared. The gallery now Victoria Emanuel in the city renowned Turin arcade suffered minor flooding, with the grounds of Duomo di Milano and little broken branches and other debris. The La Scala era open house, however, reported damage and confirmed the uncommon performance will be processed on schedule. The storm also disrupted air travel, with the Milan, Valencia, and Elitaria airports experienced delays and cancellation. Passengers were advised asked to check the airlines for updates, a crew working to clear water-loaded runway and restore operations. Meteorologists from the Italy National Weather Service, Sergio Meteorological, attributed this storm on the unusual coverages of warm and moist air from the Mediterranean and cold from the moving in the northern Europe. They warned the most unstated weather could follow. Urged residents to stay informed about forcing and need to further warning. City officials have planned to review the enhanced Milan emergency response protocols. Major Sala emphasized that they need to improve infrastructure to cope the extreme weather events, which are becoming increasingly frequent due to climate change. Our city must adapt these challenges and stand it with the invest better fluid address to ensure our emergency service to fully equipped to protect our citizens. As Milan begins to address task recovery, this storm severe stark reminder of powerful nature and importance preparedness in the face of climate volatility. A violent storm struck Italian capital Friday evening, brought torrential rain, powerful winds, and hailstorms. The sudden and severe weather has caused widespread disruption across the city, leaving a significant damage to infrastructure, flooding in several neighborhoods, and power outage affected thousands of residents. The storm, which began around 6 p.m., quickly overwhelmed the city drainage system. Streets in central Rome, including historic areas around the Colosseum and Roman Forum, were transformed into rivers within the minutes. Videos circulated on social media showed cars submerged in water, with some vehicles swept away by the force of current. Public transportation was severely impacted, with the numerous roads suspended into metro lines experiencing delays and temporary closure. Roads Major Roberto Calteri has urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel to stay indoors while facing to extraordinary weather events that caused significant disruption and damage. Our emergency services are working tirelessly to mitigate the situation to assist those in need. Emergency services have been inundated with calls, responded to numerous incidents to flooding, fallen trees, and structure damage. The fire brigade has responded to hundreds invitations throughout the evening and night, and many teams still working to clear debris and restore access to affected areas. Power outage have compounded the difficulty several districts, including Tristrium, parts of the city center, experienced blackouts. Unity companies have deployed additional crew to restore electricity, but officials have warned that may time to fully reestablish severe due to extend the damage. In the wake of the storm, community spirit has through the volunteers mobilized to assist with the cleanup operations and provide support to those affected. Local organizations have set up temporary shelters to individuals displaced by the flooding, to flood banks, and distributed supplies to those in need. An Italian Red Cross has also activated its emergency response unit, provided medical assistance and coordinated with the local authorities. To ensure the safety and well-being through residents, the community's response have been normally a volunteer for the Red Cross on time of crisis at the critical time together to support one another. Meteorologists have indicated the severe weather in the parts of a long-term affected the Mediterranean region, with the potential and some storms in the coming days. Authorities are urged residents to stay informed throughout the official channels to prepare to fully disruption. The storm Iran highlighting increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events prompted calls to great investment in climate resilience and infrastructure. Experts are advocating to improve urban planning to enhance emergency preparedness to mitigate the impact of such events in the future. The city begins the arborist thus to recovery, the resilience, solidarity, and the residents' stands and attachment of Rome and Turin spirit. While the storm left a trail of destruction, the communal efforts to rebuild, to restore, provide hope and strength to days ahead. A powerful storm swept Rome on a Saturday night, bringing torrential rain, strong winds, and a significant destruction in the Italian capital. The extended time has caused widespread damage, flooding streets, uprooted trees, and leading the temporarily closed to several key transportation routes. The storm, which meteorologists describe as one of the most intense in the year, delivered a deluge of overwhelming the city drainage system. Within hours, several districts reported several flooding, particularly hard hit with the historical areas along the Tiber River, where the water level rose rapidly, submerged walkway and inundated ground floors of building. Rome's iconic landmark, including Colosseum and Roman Forum, was shrouded in streets and debris, though they were much structurally unscattered. However, the surrounding areas experienced significant water accumulation, prompted emergency service to deploy planes and barriers in the effort to irrigate and rising water. Public transportation came to standstill on the storm intensified. Metro service and suspended several lines due to waterway tracks. Stranded thousands of communities. Bases faced similar challenges. Navigated flooded streets and unentry blocked roads and fallen trees recent debris. The city main train station terminally some delays and cancellation rail service standard with the advised weather conditions. Rome Airport were also affected. Leonardo da Vinci Fiumicino Airport experienced numerous flight delays and cancellation, with several incoming flights being diverted to other airports. Passengers facing long wait, the confused, and airlines are working to reorganize schedule to provide updates. Emergency services were on the night alert throughout the night, responding to hundreds of calls. Firefighters were dispatched to move fallen trees and clear blocked roads, and rescue teams assisted residents trapped in flooded buildings. The city's emergency management agency set up temporary shelters to those displaced by the storm. Power outages were widespread, affected thousands of households across the metropolitan area. Utility crews worked throughout the night and restored electricity, but many areas remained without power well in Sunday morning. Authority urged residents to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel until the situation of stability. The Sunday morning saw in the aftermath of the storm with the residents severely of damage. Shops and businesses in the worst hit area was closed and cleanup efforts were underway. The mayor of Rome, Roberto Galvetti, experienced this concert of the extensive damage in the world of this city receive all necessary support to recover swiftly. We are facing a significant challenge, but the resilience of Rome and the citizens will see through the difficult time. He also highlighted the need to improve infrastructure to cope with such extreme weather events, which are becoming more frequent due to climate change. Experts have noted to increasing severity and frequency of storm in the region and consistent border patterns of climate change. They urged that Rome, likely more historic cities, faced unclear challenges, is adapted to unset infrastructure to modern climate realities. Enhanced drainage system, improved emergency response plan to orient investment in resilience infrastructure are among the main issues being recommended. In the coming days, assessment will continue to determine the full extent of the damage. Residents and business owners will begin the process of rebuild and recovery with the assistance from both local authorities and the national government. As Rome grapples with the aftermath of this powerful storm, the city is reminded of urgent need to adapt the evolving climate and ensure the safety and well-being in inhabitants in the face of increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. Sicily is the largest island of Mediterranean and grappling with the aftermath of devastation storm that struck on Friday evening. The extreme weather event has left a trail of destruction across the island, disrupted daily life and raising concerns about the increasing frequency of such occurrence in the region. The storm, characterized by torrential rain and violent wind, resulted in widespread flooding, particularly in the cities of Catania and Messina. Streets were transformed into rivers, submerged cars, and damaged infrastructure in some areas. The water level rose quickly to residents were trapped in their homes, necessitating rescue operations by emergency service. The Italian Civil Protection Department has reported numerous assistance of people being rescued from the rooftops to upper floors and buildings. Power outages have been widespread on thousands of households left without electricity. The storm has also caused significant damage to the agriculture sector, which has a vital part of Sicily's economy. Vineyards and olive groves, many of which were preparing for the harvest season, have been devastated by heavy rains and strong winds. Preliminary estimates suggest the economic impact could run into millions of euros. Transport networks have been severely affected, with many routes rendered impossible due to flooding and landslides. The island's main airport in Catania faced temporarily closed, resulting in numerous flight cancellations and delays. Rail service have also been disrupted for the complication situation for residents and travelers. Local authorities have declared a state of emergency and are urged residents to stay indoors and avoid non-essential travel. The mayor of Catania, Salva Folklore, has called to clan solidarity, emphasizing the importance of community support during the challenging time. We are facing an extraordinary weather event and requires extraordinary measures, he said in the press statement. The storm in Sicily part of a body part of extreme weather event affecting in Mediterranean region, which scientists attributed to climate change. Rising area temperatures and challenges atmospheric coordination are contributing by the intense fall and frequency in such forms. Environmental experts are calling for urgent action to address climate change and mitigating the impact. As the immediate rescue and real-life efforts continue, the focus will soon shift recovery to rebuilding. The Sicilian government has pledged to provide financial assistance to those affected in the invest in infrastructure improvement to better withstand future storm. For now, however, the priority remains ensure the safety and well-being of all residents of the cope with the aftermath of severe weather event. Sicily, Italy's largest island, is grappling with the aftermath of a violent storm that unleashed torrential rain, fires, winds, and severe flooding across the region. The storm was stuck overnight, has caused widespread destruction, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. It prompted urgent response to local authority and emergency service. The cities of Catania and Messina have been particularly hard hit, with streets transformed into rivers and homes inundated. In Catania, a major urban center, the heavy downpour led to closure school and businesses, while emergency response working tirelessly to rescue residents trapped in their homes. A powerful storm hit Italy, causing severe weather conditions that resulted in widespread destruction across the island. The storm, characterized by heavy rain and gale force winds, led to widespread flooding, power outage, and extensive damage to infrastructure. Local authorities report that the crises of Catania and Palermo have been hardest hit. In Catania, streets drawn into rivers and water level walls and threat ruin head. A historic center, which has usually turned to tourists and the ill-equipped emergency service, tried to cope with the flood. Videos shared on social media show cars submerged on residents wading throughout the waist-deep water. The meteorological service has recovered the widespread up to 100 km/h. With a fully updated station, routes have been approved to routes and have been rapid to rebuilding, and debris is scattered to the roadway, making travel dangerous. The regional government has issued a red alert, urging residents to stay at home and avoid unnecessary travel. In Palermo, the storm led to similar scene of chaos. The local airport has temporarily closed due to flooding of the runway, leaving a flight cancellation and delays. Public transportation was severely disrupted, leaving passengers unstranded. The coastal area forced the boost of the storm, with the strong winds crashed against the coastline, causing erosions of damaged sea defense. Emergency services are working around the clock to help those in need. In Italian, Red Crescent are mobilized to support the most affected areas, offering shelters and disrupted basic necessities. Rescue operations are ongoing, with the reports of people trapped in their homes due to rising waters. Helicopters have been deployed to evacuate those in immediate danger. The impact of the storm on agriculture is also growing concern. Faces potential devastation. Initial estimates suggest significant group losers, which could have a long-term economic impact on the region's farming communities. Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Conte has experienced solidarity with the affected residents, planting government and the rescue to support the force recovery force. He praised the resilience of the Sicily people and the tireless efforts to the rescues. Meteorologists predict severe weather conditions to continue over the next 24 hours and advised residents to remain vigilant. The Sicily is struggling with the aftermath of the disaster. The focus of ensuring the safety of the residents and bringing to order starts to rebuilding. The full extent of the damage will become clear to coming days, but for now Sicily is widespread a storm-related onslaught. As the storm continued to hit Sicily, the regional authorities are deployed all available rescue to mitigate the effect. Civil protection units are on a high alert, coordinated with local municipalities to ensure the rapid response to emergency. The Italian government has planned to immediate financial assistance to support this force, emphasizing the importance to rapid relief and long-term recovery plans. In addition to urban centers, rural areas and small towns were also affected in a disaster. In the provincial Sicura, several communities have reported several flooding and landslides, complicating rescue efforts. Particular vulnerability and Picture Square village, often located in village and riverbank. Many residents were evacuated to temporary shelters set up in school and community center. The storm has also disturbed essential service across the island. Hospital and affected areas are running on backup generator due to widespread power outage. Medical teams are provided priority emergency care, additional rescue and brain mobility from the less affected regions to support local health facilities. Concerns are growing about the spread, waterborne disaster, prompted health officials and issue water safety to giant advisories. In response to the escalation crisis, international humanitarian organizations have begun to mobilize support. The European Union activated the emergency response mechanism, provided logistical and financial assistance by Italy. Neighboring countries have offered to assistance, and the term of France, Spain, and prepared to take part in the restoration work. Rome, Italy. The eternal city on a high alert is a powerful storm system, defined by intense atmospheric conditions, is poised to sweep through the region. Meteorologists have issued warning for the heavy rainfall, strong winds, and potential flooding, prompted city officials to take preemptive measures to safeguard residents and infrastructure. The Italian Meteorological Service has placed Rome under the orange alert, indicating the likelihood of severe weather event that could cause significant disruption. Rainfall total are expected to exceed 100 mm in the same area. areas, raising concerns about the city incident drainage system and the capacity to handle such a volume of water. In anticipation of the storm, Major Virginia Regel has covered an emergency meeting with the Civil Protection Authority and public safety official. We are talking on necessary steps to prepare for the storm. Our priority is to ensure the safety of our citizens and to minimize the impact of the city infrastructure. Public transportation service, including buses and trams, are being closely monitoring the contingency plan in place of flooding debris blocked by the roads. Schools and public buildings also being evacuated by structural integrity, with clear issue possible to conditions worsen. Residents have been advised to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. Emergency services are working steadily to education personnel and equipment deployed to areas more at risk of flooding. The city's iconic Tiber River, known as historic flooding, is under constant surveillance. Flood jets ready to be activated when the flood levels rise dangerously. Local businesses, particularly those in low-lying areas, are bracing for the impact, standing by the disrupting and protect property, and the insurance companies are preparing for the possible influence claim related to storm damage. The storm approached already caused disruption with the several flights into out and around Leonardo da Vinci International Airport declared to cancel it. Travelers are invited to check with the airline's latest information. The storm comes after an unusually dry weather, which has left the soil able to absorb an immediate deluge, increasing risk to rapid and viewed flash flood. Climate experts note that such extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, attributing this trend to border challenges to global climate patterns. Their own braces for the storm's full impact. The resilience into people are readily in emergency service will be put to the test. Authorities are urged to everyone to need warning to stay safe as the city navigates yet another chapter of long history of enduring to overcome natural challenges. Venice, Italy, renowned as historic canals and attitude to face a severe storm and left significant damage in its wake. On Saturday, a powerful storm system moved through the region behind the cavalry, strong winds and high tides that resulted widespread flooding across the city. The storm is the latest in series of extreme weather events and therefore increasingly impacted Venice. Recent concerns about the city undoubtedly were the instant of effect of climate change. The storm began early in the morning, with the intense rainfall of quickly overwhelmed the city drainage system. By midnight, large portions of Venice were submerged underwater. The rising water reached level not seen signs informs. Acqua Alta event of 2019 set March Square, a central landmark, was particularly hot hit with the water level rising about a meter, submerged the square, flooding nearby shops and businesses. Local authorities have anticipated the high tides and activated the most flooded barriers drainage to protect Venice in such events. However, the barrier provided infrastructure against the storm intensity. Major experienced frustration not that while most systems mitigate some damage and the clear of adaptation means sure to need protect the city in the future. It is a wake up all. The most protect is not enough on its own. We must continue investing in infrastructure to protect Venice from the increasing threat to climate change. Residents and tourists alike were caught off guard when the severity of the storm. Many of themselves wanted to keep deep water in some sinking refuge in higher ground with the winter or when in the upper floor on building. Emergency services were deployed to assist and standard floodwaters and temporary shelters were set up to enable refuge to homes. The economic impact of the storm is expected to be significant. Venice relief covered tourism and flooding disruption businesses separation with many shops and restaurants suffering damage on their property and inventory. Cultural landmarks including museums, historic buildings and also a risk when the water seep on a low area level causes concern among the preservationists. Venice inquired geography on the intentional the curve may hold particularly vulnerable of flooding. The city built of networks, can low-lying island, is naturally suspendable at high tides. However, the frequency of severe and these events have increased in recent years, a phenomenon attributed to the climate change of rising sea levels. Experts warning without the significant action, Venice is facing more severe flooding in the future. Environmental action, the situation of Venice is stuck reminding of the broader impact of climate change. What we are seeing in Venice is not isolated events. It's part of global patterns of extreme weather events, becoming more frequent and severe. In the aftermath of the storm, Italian government has plunged additional resources in the recovery of enhanced flooding protection measures. Prime Minister Venice sounded promising swift action to support those affected to improve city defense against the future storm. Venice begins to address the recovery. Storm severe a poignant reminder of city's fragile relationship with the future. The resilience of determination of residents converted to force from the authority to international community will be critical to ensure the historic and the wasteland challenges posed by the changing climate. Rome, Italy, the eternal city, renowned historical splendor times beauty on the itself, mercant severe storm wreaked havoc across the metropolis. On the evening, the powerful weather system swept through the Rome, bringing with it torrential rain, pirates, wind, and dramatic lighting displays in the both residents and tourists the stake shock and away. The storm, which meteorological have described one of the most intense in the recent years, began its assault in late afternoon. As the sky darkened immensely, the deluge alone followed quickly overwhelmed the city drainage system. Streets transformed into rivers where the water levels risen rapidly inundated homes, businesses, and historical landmarks alike. Emergency service were scattered their limits to respond to the countless call for assistance. The city's iconic streets, including bustlines where the course and historic world for me was a merge, disrupted traffic and public transportation. The Rome metro system suffered significant delays and closes. Stations were flooded, standing thousands and communities and tourists underground. The storm frosted not and living rainfall. Gale force wind gusting up to 100 km/h uprooted trees and sent debris flying through the air. And the assistance Roman Forum, several centuries old trees were followed, narrowly missing archaeological theater. The Colosseum were structurally unhandled, were enveloped in a crucial water and the storm died down. Among the hardest hit area was the tidal river, which swelled rapidly in the relentless downpour. The river banks overflowed, leading the flooding adjacent neighborhoods. Rome Major Roberto Caltilli addressed the public aftermath of the storm, ensuring residents that all available resources are being deployed to assist those affected. The storm has tested on the city, but the Romans are resilient. We will work tirelessly to restore normality and support those in need, he decided. They also urged residents to remain indoor and avoid unnecessary travel while the cleanup operations were underway. The storm has renewed discussions about the Rome infrastructure and all about the COP increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. Climate experts have pointed the event a stark reminder of urgent need to comprehensive urban planning to take account the growing impact of climate change. Rome, like many historic cities, facing quite challenges to adapting the modern environmental resilience. In the storm-away communities across the Rome have moved together to show solidarity. Volunteers have been assisting the cleanup efforts, providing food and shelter to those displaced by the flooding. Social media have been flooded to message to support and other to help highlighting the strong community spirit to provide the city. As the water recedes and skies clear, Rome begin to others task to recovery. The storm of violence reminder of powerful nature has last to a label mark of the city. Yes, the history show time to against Rome enduring stretch and ability in the rise above adversity. The eternal city was at the door with undoubtedly whether the storm emergency stronger taste meant the resilient spirit and underwater resolve of people. Sicily, Italy, largest island in the grappling with the aftermath of a violent storm that unleashed torrential rain, fires, winds, and severe flooding across the region. The storm, which struck over limit, caused widespread destruction, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake, prompted urgent response to local authority and emergency service. The cities of Catania and Messina have been particularly hard hit, with the streets transformed into rivers, homes, and inundated. In Catania, a major urban center, a heavy downpour had left to clear schools and businesses, while emergency response working tirelessly to rescue residents trapped in their homes. Footage circulated on social media showed cars submerged and residents walking throughout the knee-deep water, highlighting the severity of the flooding. Local authorities have reported several rivers in the region have overflowed, exacerbating the flooding and complicating rescue efforts. The Averita River went through the heap of Catania and reached critical levels, prompting Turin to further flooding. In response, the government mobilized additional resources, including military personnel, to assist the river force. The storm has also disrupted transportation, with the several roads and highways inundated and possible due to flood waters and debris. Rail service have been suspended in affected areas, and Catania's Fontorossa airport has experienced significant delays and cancellations, standing numerous passengers. Electricity and communication have been severely impacted, leaving thousands of homes without power. Technical are working around the clock to restore service, but the extent of the damage has maintained days daunting. The local utility company was working to take several days to fully restore power to all affected areas. Local officials have urged residents to remain indoor and avoid non-essential travel. The Italian Civil Protection Department has issued a red alert to region, indicating the high risk of further severe weather and urging people to stay updated throughout the official channel. The storms intensified, suggesting flooding, heavy downpour, comparison similar catastrophic events in the past of experts pointing to climate change and contribute factor of increasing frequency and severity of such storm. Sicily, known for its not dry summer, has been experiencing more erratic, extreme weather patterns in the recent year. A true to scientists attributed both impact of climate climate change, as Sicily been to others process to recovery. The focus remained providing immediate relief for those affected and the full extent of the damage. The community's resilience to being tested once again with the contributing efforts to support Sicily and to overcome the latest challenge. A severe storm has swept across the island of Sicily, causing widespread devastation and significant disruption of daily life. The intense weather system which struck on the island on the evening of May 18 brought torrential rain, gale force winds and flash floods, resulting in extensive damage to infrastructure and property. Local authorities have reported that storm had left a clear through in several key roads and highways due to flooding and landslides. In the city of Catania, one of the hardest hit area, emergency service were stretchered their limits as they responded to numerous calls for assistance. The city historic center, UNESCO World Heritage Site and several buildings suffer structure damage with some streets rendered impossible to breathe. The regional agriculture sector has also been heavily impacted. Farmers in the plains around Catania and Syracuse have reported substantial crop losses. Vineyard cities growth and olive orchard crucial Sicily's economy have been damaged by the yearly estimate suggesting millions of euros in losers. In the island power grid had forced significant strain with a widespread outage reported. Utility companies are working around the clock to restore electricity, but officials warn that some areas against remain without power for days. Water supply issues have also arisen, particularly in the rural communities where infrastructure have been heavily compressed. The storm's ferocity has captured the residents on social media with drone footage showing flooded streets, uprooted trees and cars being swept away by the currents. Local meteorologists have been described by the events of the most severe storms on the hit Sicily in the recent years, attributing an intense fire to the combination of warm Mediterranean water and low pressure system moving across the region. Authorities have urged residents to remain indoors and avoid non-essential travel to clean up operation continue. Schools and public officials in affected areas have been closed, and local government in coordination with the Italian Civil Protection Department to assess the full extent of the damage and plan recovery efforts. In the wake of this storm has not been approved in solidarity from across Italy. Numerous volunteer groups and non-profit organizations are mobilized to provide assistance in those affected. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has experienced to government committees' commitment to support the region pledged emergency fund to resources to aid in the recovery. The Sicily begin recover from these natural disaster questions and being raising power of the preparedness and resilience to infrastructure in the face of increasingly frequent and severe weather events. The island's vulnerability to such storm underscored the urgent need to enhance disaster preparedness and sustainable development strategies to mitigate future risk. For now, the focus remained to immediate relief and rebuilding efforts on Sicily. Controls of the aftermath of the storm has left in an immutable recall to landscape and the people.